Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Master Mo Podcast. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. And I would like to thank everybody and everyone who supported us during this journey. And most importantly, the people who were giving us an advice and news and what should we develop and recommend out to us. What is the things that needs to be improved. And of course, I just want to highlight a quick announcement that Master Mo Podcast is also now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, for the benefit of the guests who would love to listen to the podcast or view it at YouTube. And as always, my intention to bring one of Bahrain inspiring stories that I was really looking for. A person who is none other than Amir, but he wants to share with us today his story of his new dedication sport that he's been involved in. He has done more than 1,300 skydive jumps or skydives. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Amir Al-Oraibi.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you for inviting me to this show, and I would like to say hello to everybody.
Sure. You are most welcome. Thank you for making time to come to the studio and do the podcast. And before we start, I just say to the benefit of the audience that we would love to know your story about everything that you told me. And it was really inspiration, a story that you have told me, and I was amazed. So what can you share with us or to the viewers about you? Who are you?
My name is Amir Al-Oraibi. I'm around 67 years old. A lot of people, when they look at me and when I travel in my car and I have my equipment with me, my skydiving equipment and my flying paragliding equipment, a lot of people, when they see it and they look at me and they look at my car, which is a bus, and they look at my age, they say, what is this?
Right.
And they don't believe it, actually. They look at they see the bag, it's a Skydive Dubai, and what is this? I said, this is my parachute. What do you mean? I said, this is my parachute. I jump. Oh, do you work there? No. This is my hobby, and I jump from airplanes. Sometimes when you say skydive, it's a mixture of, they don't understand actually what is a skydive, and they get confused with the flying, skydiving, jumping from planes, jumping from mountain. So I tell them, this skydive equipment and I jump from airplane. Wow. And sometimes they don't believe it, especially when I cross borders, unless they see the pictures. So when I talk to people and they look at the age, they look at me, they say, wow.
Really, wow. Before we go into how you start all of that, just for us as a record, exactly, you said 1,300?
Yeah, I have now around 3,300 jumps, skydive jumps.
Wow. And when did you start your skydiving career?
In fact, skydiving, I started in 2011. But before skydiving, I went into flying small airplanes, sports, light airplanes. And I started flying actually in 2004 in the United Arab Emirates in Ras Al Khaimah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, God bless UAE. This is where I started, and I really consider UAE as my second hometown. I love the people over there, and because of the freedom they really encourage people to do these sports. Right. There is a big chance over there to actually emerge into many different sports. And one of them is flying airplanes, paragliding, and skydiving. So these are some of these aviation sports.
Right. So when you were there at 2004, you said.
I started, in fact, I went to Dubai in 1989.
Right. 1989.
1998.
1998. Okay.
Yes,
No.
in 1998.
Right.
So I went there, and it was my dream when I was like a young boy to fly, to be a pilot. But I didn't have the opportunity at that time. So when I went to Dubai, and I found people, they were like flying paramotor. So I started with them in 2004. Paramotor is actually a wing, and you put the engine on your back and you fly.
Okay.
Okay. I started with them. Then I went for the flying small airplanes. I got my airplane. I bought it. It's called Delta Wing, a 3-axis airplane. Then I went on along with the flying airplanes. I was doing paramotoring, paragliding, but then I went a bit more into skydiving.
Right. And that was on
2011.
2011 once you started. But let me just share with you, just share with our audience or our listeners what you have just said right now. When you started your light airplane flying, yes, do you require to get a license back then?
Yes, of course.
Because you said you were in Dubai.
Yeah.
So you moved to Dubai for work?
I moved to Dubai for work in 1989, and I started with Ford Motor Company. Then I moved on with different manufacturers. Okay, but during that time when I was there, I started my hobby.
Right, which was flying
Small airplanes.
And at that point, were you just renting an airplane, or you bought
No,
yourself
actually,
already?
I bought mine. I started, in fact, my first license in Hungary. Then I continued in Thailand. But then I bought my airplane in Ras Al Khaimah.
Interesting. And when you start this aviation thing, what was the rationale behind you doing that? I mean to say, what took you to an idea that I want to drive an airplane or a small airplane? What was the passion that you never knew at that point, and then suddenly you knew? What drive that motivation? Basically?
It was in fact my dream. I can say, when I was in school, I wanted to be a pilot. I tried to apply for Gulf Air. I couldn't. Okay. And there, when I went there, I saw the opportunity just to fulfill my dream. Okay. And feel like free. Some people, they ask about the feeling, which is a bit difficult to describe when you are in the air, whether you are flying small airplanes, okay, or when you are doing skydiving. Flying sports has a feeling. Actually, you cannot really describe the feeling. It's something like when you try it yourself, then you say, I love it or I hate it.
Right. And so when you tried it out, you think that was you really find the love.
Yeah.
Wow. And how fulfillment were you when you bought your first airplane?
In fact, I bought my airplane from a guy who wanted to leave the country.
Right.
And I bought that plane. He said, okay, because at that time there was nobody flying that airplane in the club other than himself. So they said, we need somebody to test you. We went. We went into, on the plane. I was a pilot. He was behind me. It's like a tandem airplane. So the pilot sits in the front and the passenger sits in the back. So he sat in the back. I flew it, went one round, came back, and he said, thumbs up. He is a good pilot. And he sold me the plane. And I had to do like a couple of flights on that plane before I took any passenger with me.
Right.
So I did about like 20 flights at the club before I started taking my friends along and my kids as well.
Wow. So you just need a license, which you took prior
Yes,
to your
yeah.
purchase of the
Yeah,
airplane.
yeah.
And that license, was it difficult? Was it how it looks like as an experience?
Actually, with this type of aircraft, the light sports aircraft, you need at least 20 to 25 hours of flying with instructor. So starting from basic to advanced. Okay. So after 25 hours, then you go solo. You do another like 10, 20 hours solo on your own before you take any passengers with you.
Oh, and was it expensive?
Actually, you can say in the mid, not very expensive. It's around, I think they charge nowadays around 20,000 dirham nowadays, 25,000 dirhams for the training and till you get the license. Then you have to purchase your own aircraft or you can rent an aircraft.
Right. And from then, you have no idea about you going to be a skydiver at
Not at that moment, no.
Right. At that moment, you're just really into flying.
I just wanted to fly aeroplanes. Actually, at that time, there was another club very close to our club. Okay. And that club, they used to do skydiving. So I used to fly from this club to the other club. There were a couple of airplanes that's in Al Gawain flying club. So we used to fly from Ras Al Khaimah flying club to Al Gawain, and from Al Gawain we usually land and sit with the guys, have lunch, have something to drink, and then fly back. At that time, they were doing skydiving there. That's the first skydiving place in UAE. And my friends, I met a couple of friends over there, made some friends, and they said, come on, try this, not only flying, try skydiving. I said, not yet. But then after that, when they opened in Dubai, and because of the distance between Dubai and Ras Al Khaimah, sometimes I said, okay, I cannot drive to Ras Al Khaimah. Okay, and I want to do the skydiving. Let me do it from here. But then I started because I went on a holiday to Thailand, and I said, okay, I'm on a holiday, which is a good opportunity to finish the whole course at one go. So instead of like in Dubai, I will be working and it will take me longer time. So I did my first skydiving, in fact, in Thailand. And I did the course of skydiving, which consists of, it takes about like 10 days of skydiving. So there are like certain courses. It's about 7 to 10 jumps to get solo when you do you jump on your own.
Right, but before you do that, just let me understand one thing. Now, your first skydive experience or training there was in Thailand.
Yes.
Right, and you said it's like 7 to 10 days. So during these 7 jumps or so, someone has to jump with you?
Yes, of course. Starting with 2 skydiver masters, trainers, coaches, what they call them. And you start with 2, then it goes with 1 until the end you go on your own.
But the first time, as I heard it, someone will be attached with you with the same parachute.
That is the first jumps to feel it. They call it tandem jump.
Jump?
Yeah. That's just to feel, to experience the skydive jump. Because a lot of people, they come with full force. They want to jump. And when they see this free fall, you jump from 12,500 feet. And when they open the door, the plane doors, they feel like frightened. They go back. When they jump, some people, they said, no, Now I want to start. And some people, they say, no, let me think about it. Okay. So that's why they give you like the first jump, you go in a tandem with somebody, attached to somebody, just to feel the free fall. And if you like it, you can start actually skydive training.
Wow. And to honestly, if I take you to that night or that morning in Thailand, where you did your first jump. By the way, you can put this, we will put that video where you did the footage of the real video that you jumped. If I'll take you to that exact video that you showed me prior to this setup or prior to this podcast, what was the feeling of you doing your first ever jump?
Really frightening. When you see the people like jumping in the front of you with the door open, they rush the height, you feel the blood rushes goes up into your head, into your face, and that is that moment you feel, oh, am I taking the right decision or not? Should I go back?
Yeah.
Or not? Actually, the first one was a little bit frightening, but once you jump out you do the first step, you jump out, you leap out of the plane, that feeling completely changes. The fear goes away completely. And then you think about, okay, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What's next?
Right. Is that a certain time that, like, once you did your first jump and you land in and next day you have to redo it again, will you have the same feeling as well?
Yes. Until now, sometimes, especially if you stop like couple of days or maybe months and you go back again and you fly, you feel like your heartbeat starts to go faster, and this blood rush, the adrenaline, you feel it all the time.
Oh. So it's a bit scary, even though you have done it for...
I don't say it's scary. No. Okay. It has a different feeling. So it's not scary. For me, it is not scary. But all the time you feel this blood rush, especially if you stop a couple of days. Okay. Because sometimes you think about, okay, what's next? What should I do? In case of something happens, what should I do? So this is always like goes into your mind.
Mm-hmm. And how difficult it was to get your the license to be a skydiver, that you can do it wherever you want.
Okay. A lot of people ask about the licenses. So the first license takes about like 7 to 8 jumps before you go solo. Then up to 25 jumps. Okay. Then you start like going a bit, you jump with other people, fly with them, make some movements in the air, etc. on the free fall. Up to 50 jumps, you get the A license. Then you go back to B license. So 20 jumps, starting getting the A license. Then you get B license at 50 to 100. Then you get the C license and D license. Now I'm at D license. So the first one, I think I had, for example, to repeat 1 or 2 exercises, but that's part of the learning curve.
Exactly. So how difficult, what was, if I correct this question again, what is the difference between A, B, C, and D for the benefit of the listeners or the viewers?
Okay, it's the level and type of training what you do. So there are different steps of training that you do and you need to accomplish. So the more advanced you go, the more movements in the air, how to control the parachute, the canopy, how to control it safely. And when you fly with other people, you think about the safety of yourself and other people, and how to make like different movements together with other people.
Interesting. So when you did your first few jumps, you filtered that I needed to shift my paradigm instead of flying airplane, and you start focusing on skydiving.
Not actually. I was doing both.
Oh.
I was doing both, flying, airplanes, and skydiving, until 2018, where I had to sell my aircraft because the manufacturer of my aircraft stopped manufacturing this airplane, and also the company itself closed down. So I had to sell my aircraft, in fact, as spare parts. And because now I am retired, I'm trying to concentrate on skydiving. Also because this flying sports and skydiving really cost a lot of money. And from the financial side, I had to a little bit be aware and stop spending a lot of money. And I went on
saving mode, basically.
Saving mode. And I went on doing skydiving plus
instead of
paragliding.
Which is what?
Paragliding, in fact, it's the wing is similar to skydiving. Okay, but we go up to the mountain or a cliff.
Right.
Use the thermals. Okay, the wind which is hitting the mountain. Okay, we use that air to lift us, and we fly. So we use the thermals and we fly for a couple of minutes, hours. It depends on different circumstances, and we fly for long periods.
Wow.
Which costs less money than skydiving.
How much does it cost per jump?
It's not per jump. It's the equipment. I mean, most places where you jump from, it costs very little.
Oh, you mean it's in comparison with the cost of skydiving?
Yes.
So if I ask you this question now, you mentioned that you reached to D license at the moment. You are doing your D license. Until how many jumps you gonna finish this? What's the requirement to finish?
No, the D license, you start at maybe even 200 jumps.
Okay.
Okay, when you are at 200, okay, if you progressed from A, B, C, and D,
yes.
Okay, if you are a good flyer, if you are a good skydiver, you can get the 200. But you have to do some exams.
Right.
Or in every step, you have to do some practical exams in front of a coach and theoretical exam.
Oh, you mean to say that you get the knowledge basically and then you have to test your knowledge, and there is also where they will test you while you're jumping.
Yes.
Like how you open the parachute.
Yes.
And when did you open it, at what do you,
there are certain movements required
exactly.
in the air that you do, certain activities in the air that you do. They ask you to do it. So every step, every level, there are certain activities that you do in the air, plus the exam, the theoretical exam, with the coaches.
So if I take you back to Dubai, where you were in Dubai, at that time you were focusing on your work as this is your income, but then fully integrating those ideas into yourself and say, like, I want to do in my spare time, on my off time, to do aviation, basically, both of driving or flying in airplanes as well as skydiving, right? So what was the challenges that you faced during the career of skydiving?
I think time and money. Well, time is because when you do other work, you need to find time. And because of my previous work, I was like traveling quite a lot between different countries. So the only time I can have is a Friday and Saturday. Sometimes you arrive to Dubai on Thursday night. By Friday morning you are tired. Okay, so then you like skip a day. So time is, was a factor, and also financial side. Financial side, when it comes to paying for the flying fees, okay, for the operators, and also for the equipment. And every time, between time and time, for example, you have to do repacking of your parachute every 6 months, and that costs money by a licensed packer, or they call it rigger. Every time you say you want to add some more equipment, and that costs money. You need to change or do some repairs on your rig, and that costs a lot of money. So financial side, you have to really prepare for it. And on skydiving, it costs more than others.
Oh. What was, if, let's say, you've done that like multiple times, like 5-10 jumps, what was driving you? What was the motivation behind you going for more jumps? Like, what was the rationale? Haven't you get satisfied or feel fulfillment when you did a certain jumps? What makes you aiming for more and up to date, like you said, 1300, which is quite really good indicator that you've really going for it. I mean, what is something that driven you all this way? Because you mentioned it's expensive, and then you've done it like many times, but what makes you go further? Do you have a plan where you're going? Do you have an objective you want to reach at certain time before?
Actually, 1300 is not much, because a lot of skydivers, they are in there. Some of them, especially the ones who actually skydive as it's their primary work as well. Some of them are on 30,000, 40,000 jumps.
Oh.
Okay, so 1300. I'm not skydiving for work. Okay, it's just I want to do it. Okay. Second thing, the more you do skydiving, especially with other people, the more practice you get, and there are certain activities you learn. So skydiving is not only just jumping from the airplane. From 12,500 until you open your parachute, you are on a free fall. Okay, you are not under a wing. And you can do a lot of things. And one of the things which I took, which is the wingsuiting. Okay, wingsuiting in itself is a specialty. So a lot of people, they take different specialties like wingsuiting. Okay, head down, head up, tracking. So there are a lot of different movements in the air. And consider you are playing in the air at high speed and falling at a high rate. So two things, speed and falling rate. And with people. So there are different plays, activities that we do in the air during the free fall. And after the free fall, when you open your parachute, okay, some people like me, which we land normally, okay, but some people take it to the extreme, and there are some other specialties, for landing. Some people, they do swooping. You can see them when they come very fast on a pond or on the sea, on the water, okay, hitting their legs on the water. And a lot of friends, for example, my kids or my friends, when they come and they watch and they see different people, they say, why you are not doing like them? Okay, I'm landing just normal, slow. Some of them, they land very fast, very, very fast. And this is a different specialty. And also they have different wings. So when you see different people doing different movements in the air, or they do different landing patterns, different movements on the landing. This is because of a speciality.
And you gain it within the experience.
You either you say, no, I want to be a swooper, I want to be like this, I want to be like that. So you try to specialize on one or two. For example, me, I'm on a wingsuiting in the air. Okay, you saw the videos, and you will see the videos like a Batman wing.
Yes.
Okay, so you wear that wing, you jump. That will give you very fast movement in the air, plus a longer distance. Feeling is different.
How is different?
Okay, a lot of, especially skydivers. Okay, some people, they don't like it. They say it's a bit dangerous. Okay, they like tracking. They go full speed, hands on the back, straight, and they go at full speed. And this is where they become master in. Some people, they love like sitting in the air. I've got one of the videos and pictures, okay, like sitting on a chair in the air.
Wow.
Okay.
Kind of like this in the video itself.
Yes. And some people, they like to do standing with other people. So you stand, legs down, hands up, like standing in the air, and the other groups with you standing. Or we call it head down, standing, head up, or head down. And that's a challenging as well. By the way, to practice these, especially head down, stand up, belly, etc., especially with the groups, you can do it in the tunnel, like the one in Bahrain. Okay, gravity.
Zero gravity. Or
okay.
Gravity or zero gravity?
Gravity.
Zero gravity is a shop for motorbikes.
No, gravity.
Gravity, yes, in Zallaq.
In Zallaq. For example, we have three places in UAE, one in Dubai, two in Dubai, and one in Abu Dhabi. The one in Bahrain is the highest. The two in Dubai, especially at the skydive and desert, is bigger than this one. The one in Abu Dhabi is bigger, but this is the highest. In fact, the one in Zallaq. So a lot of movements. To practice them, they do it in the tunnel. Then you go in the air and actually do the movements.
But that's only right now in Bahrain, because we are not having a company where we do skydive. Where you mentioned in Thailand, your first experience was, would they have such a thing, tunnels or such a thing?
No, straight away.
It was
you
direct
can do
experience.
You can do a direct experience as well.
Wow. So now, with this advanced technology, have you ever tried to go or test some of your skills in gravity or similar?
Yeah, I did a couple of jumps over here in gravity. Unfortunately, it's a bit expensive. And we tried over here, tried to get some special rates. It's too expensive for me. So the money that I will spend over here, I will spend it in actual skydiving.
Hold on 1 second. Are you saying now the amount you will pay for an actual skydive experience is equivalent?
For me, it's cheaper than here.
Oh, really?
So for a skydiver, or what they call us a fun jumper, because I'm inexperienced, I have my license, I've got a different rate. Wherever we go for an official drop zone, we pay less money.
Due for having your license and
no, I mean less money for jumping.
For jumping, yes. That's what I was meaning. So basically, you will charge lesser than an individual who does not have a license.
A lot less.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
What do you think, Amir, the reason why we don't have a company like Dubai Skydive, but Bahrain Skydive? I mean,
I know. I asked the officials. I asked some guys here. Although we have a special at the, I think they call it Bahrain Youth. They have somebody who is like responsible for air sports. So I called him in the past, and he said, "Oh, thank you for calling, but we don't have at the moment. This sport is not actually." Available in Bahrain, but maybe in the future. I don't know, because of the size of Bahrain, etc. I don't know, but actually at the moment it's not open here yet. Luckily, we have a lot of opportunities in Saudi Arabia with paragliding. A lot of paragliding sites. There is it's properly controlled by the government of Saudi Arabia. Many places, official places in Saudi Arabia. So I see the opportunity of paragliding in Saudi Arabia and paramotoring in Saudi Arabia. So the air sports is quite open in Saudi Arabia and also in UAE. In Bahrain, hopefully in the future, I think it will come one day.
Yes, I mean, having the fact that we are an island. I mean, we are an island.
It can be controlled. It's not
for sure, and it will get huge revenue. Having said that, this is actually the first time I have noticed something that we are not excelling in it where others were. For example, speaking of sports and how to involve in sports, and Bahrain was the first in Gulf to introduce Formula One. I believe Bahrain International Circuit started Formula One in 2004, and I believe Abu Dhabi Grand Prix started at 2010, and Saudi, I believe, just last 2 years, and they are not in the calendar this year, 2022. I have no idea why. Maybe because they did very fast. I'm not here to say why, but Bahrain were one of the leading when it's come to this. One of my guests actually is, of course, none other our guru friend Amir Al-Oraibi. Once he was mentioning one of the stories about Bahrain Airport, where he was saying that Bahrain were leading in terms of the quality that we were giving back then to the aviation industry, that even Dubai and Saudi, they weren't in the position that we were, and unlike our professionalism back then. So I was amazed. And this sport, actually, I have no idea why we are very backwards in comparison with our neighbors. And this is really quite interesting to think about it, why we don't have such a thing here in Bahrain.
Actually, I met some other guys from Bahrain, either from the military or from the army, who are doing skydiving or doing air sports. I met some guys in Dubai. Usually the army and the other guys, they come to Dubai for more training. I met maybe a couple of guys over there doing it on their own, from their own pocket. From Bahrain, doing it either in Dubai or the other places. Paramotoring, paragliding. I know a couple of guys from Bahrain, because they lived abroad. They had the opportunity as well to practice their hobby over there, either in Saudi Arabia or in Oman or UAE. But I guess I'm a bit optimistic. It will come in the future.
Hopefully that would be something.
Yeah, really. Especially some of the royals. I think they like this sport, and hopefully in the future they will allow it.
And if I would say to you, what's your plan, Amir, for looking forward at the moment? Because you're doing it now just for fun, because something you love, something you are passionate about, something drives you to be who you are, the adrenaline level that you. What is your plan? Where do you see yourself in this sport?
In fact, in this sport, I cannot say I don't want to be like a a trainer or a coach or something. I just want to practice it as a hobby. Okay. I don't want to stick myself to be like a coach and to work. Okay. I'm retired and I just want to have the freedom to go wherever I like, anytime I like. I want to do a bit more on the paragliding. It's another challenging experience. Paragliding, for the information of the viewers, is flying a wing from the mountain. So we go either walk or we drive up to a mountain or to a cliff and we fly. And this is another air sport, a challenging air sport, in fact. And in fact, it's I can say another adrenaline. What do you call it? Experience.
Yes.
Okay. It costs less. However, it's more. There are a lot of challenges, and you cannot do it anywhere. So you have to go to an area or a place or a country where they have mountains and where there are people flying paragliding.
Right. And
so I want to be a little bit more, do a bit more training and experience on that.
Oh, so now you mean to say you are doing the skydiving for fun and you'd love to certain time to give being a trainer or some sort of...
No, I don't want to be a trainer.
In paraglide?
No.
Oh.
It's just to practice it, practice the hobby. And to excel in that flight.
Right. What was the one thing that makes you really proud? The proudest moment as an achievement in skydiving career?
First of all, I would like to thank my family.
Of course.
Okay. They really bear with me, like leaving them for a long time, especially for a long time, leaving them, going away, spend my time. And now they are grown-up kids and they understand. They came, they saw it. Some of them experienced it and they know the fun part. And they say, okay, take your time and enjoy. So this is thanks to to the family. And this is when you say, I'm proud of my kids as well. So I'm proud of my kids as well, and proud of the wife.
Yeah. So, just want to understand what was your most challenging moment for your family. I mean to say that for sure for this very, very long time. You've been abroad and you're living abroad. So your family were with you in Dubai, or they were living here in Bahrain?
They were with me for about 1 year and a half. Then they came back because of me. With my previous work, I was traveling quite a lot. So they had to come back here. Okay. Because I used to leave them for a week or maybe a month before going back to Dubai. So we decided that it's better for them to come here, and because my house is near my father's house and our area, so the community is very close. So I decided that they come here, which is much better for them. But between time and time, they come and join me there. Until now, I have my place in Dubai, and I'm traveling there. So I usually keep like 1 month here, 1 month there. And again, as I said, that's my second home.
How many years you've been working in Dubai?
I worked there for about like 22 years, but I am there like since 1998.
1998, yeah. If I'll ask you this question, what makes you thinking about working abroad? What was the factor that influenced you to move out from Bahrain and go there?
Opportunities first. Okay, working with different cultures. which is really gives you a good experience. When you say different cultures, like at my work, we have different nationalities working with you.
Yeah.
Okay. The prospect of moving ahead, moving forward, is quite open there. So the prospect of upgrading your lifestyle is over there. It's open. You have got a lot of opportunities, a lot of job opportunities. And when you work with national companies, they really recognize your efforts. And this is where. Second thing is the financial side. And salaries are much better than here.
Amen. And that's that. When you take that decision, what is the advice you would love to give to the people that they have not started this sport ever in their life, or they would love to start it at certain stage? What is the advice you want to say to them?
I like, in fact, some of the different cultures, different nationalities, and they put a tick. So they said, I want to do this, that. And at least I tick that, practice it. They don't say, oh, it's frightening. Okay, before you say it's frightening, before you say it's dangerous, before you say it's so many things. Okay, expensive, it's not worth it. I know it's about 2-3 minutes jump, but that experience is different. And you say, like, I'm paying like 2,500 dirham for one jump. No way. A lot of people, they give me money. I said, no, they take money from you, but you take it. You take it in your life. Try it. Maybe you find your future there. If you don't try it, you will not understand it.
Now, you makes me feel so good that you're calling me out. Like, let's do it more. Like, it's time for you to experience it. Actually, I have not experienced it before. But if I ask you this question, what is the thing that skydiving teach you in other way? What is the things that influence you once you try skydiving?
Skydiving, like other sports, especially air sports, you drive or you fly to. We have a lot of skydivers from Saudi Arabia. They come to Dubai. They fly, or from Kuwait. They fly to Dubai to do skydiving. They come, and because of the weather, for 2 days they come for the weekend, and they cannot jump. That teaches you how to be patient. That teaches you patience. Flying and skydiving, the same. You look at the weather forecast, it's something. You go there, it's something different. And you have to wait till the end. You might jump or you might not. But you have to change your the way you think about it. You don't feel like frustrated. I flew or I drove to there, couple of 100 kilometers, and then you didn't jump.
Yeah.
Okay, that you should expect. Same as paragliding. You go up to the mountain, either driving or walking, couple of hours. Okay, and you arrive there, you look, the weather is not suitable to fly. And then you have to come back. So that teaches you patience. That teaches you how to deal with other people. That teaches you how to take different decisions at the right time.
Exactly. Wow, what a really wonderful story. Amir, what is the milestone you want to reach in your life before retired or stopping skydiving? At certain stage, what is the milestone you want to reach, and then you're gonna say, it's my time to take some rest after that?
If I have enough fund, I will continue till I cannot move.
Right. Wow. What an experience. After 1,300 jumps. Today, Amir Al-Oraibi, he is a guest in my podcast to share the awareness and to spread out a nutshell from his story of skydiving and jumps, and also paraglide, and also flying a small airplane which is called
Ultralight airplane. Okay,
right.
ultralight. Okay, is categorized as a small airplane carrying two people. That's the pilot and the passenger.
Any final words you would love to say to the audience or the listener, basically?
Never listen to those people who discourages you. Continue with your passion. Continue and continue till the end. Okay, that's something you have to continue with your passion, with your sport, the sport that you love. You'll find a lot of people discourages you. Don't listen to them. Okay, at the end, when you win, they will say, wow, my first wingsuit jump, I was on the plane, and one skydiver guy looked at me and he said, are you sure you are going to do it? And that's on my first training on the wingsuit. I said, yes. And he is a skydiver. When I jumped, he said, oh, you've done it. I said, yes, of course I've done it. And I took that challenge and I'm continuing on that.
Amazing. Amazing.
So age is not a factor. Okay, age is not the end. A lot of people, they ask about the age. Last time when I went to do the paragliding in Thailand,
Yes.
the guy, the coach, he put me, my picture, my videos on Facebook, and he said, 67 years old, trainee in my team. And everybody says, wow.
Yes.
Okay. In fact, there were a couple of other, like, about same age or elder. Okay. They are doing the flying, but with his team. So it was like an encouragement to other people. So he had the youngest guy, 12 years old, trainee, and he had me, 6'7". A lot of people were encouraged to come and join, in fact, and flew with us. So what I say, age is not like a limit for you. It's not a barrier. Okay? If you have the will, you do it.
Very inspiring wisdom. Thank you, Amir, for finding time to speak about a little bit of your journey in skydiving. I truly believe that you really going to inspire lots, and I mean really lots of people about such a story. And I wish you all the best, continuing your heritage and legacy into skydiving. Taking forward, I wish you all the best into your skydiving career. I would love to see more numbers rising on the horizon, and hopefully one day I'm gonna be, as you collaborate with me in this episode of the podcast, I could perhaps one day collaborate with you and doing skydiving at certain point. I wouldn't announce anything yet at the moment. It's not the right time, I guess, but it's coming. Sooner or later, you're gonna find out. Viewers or listeners, I would love to share a big thank you to everybody who wrote in DMs, Instagram DMs, who share with you their friends, who comment about what they like and dislike, and lots of times, like, people told me things that I were not knowing. Some people give me tips about some of the sound that wasn't too clear. And some of my viewers or audience were saying to me, hey, why don't you upload it as a sound version as well, so the listener also can have a chance also to listen to your podcast. And thanks to them, of course, we reached to this level, and we, inshallah, we will go further and further. So thank you very much.
My last word?
For coming, Amir.
No.
And any last words?
And last word, wait for the next challenge. A secret now.
You added right now the cherry on top, a secret hiding it from me, and of course, yes. So thank you, Amir, again for finding time to be here, and wish you all the best. If you haven't subscribed, ladies and gentlemen, to this channel or to this podcast, please do so. I would love to hear your comment, your thoughts, any recommendation about the guest, anything you would like to be in touch. You may write me an email at mastermo@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. And thank you, Amir, again for coming, and for the viewers or the listener, thank you very much for your support and continuous support and sharing this video with others. Of course, I would love you to smash the like button and put your comments down below, and all the information about my guest will gonna be in the section below. Yes. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
See you.